The room is relationships. The room is you and me and everyone in America.
What are you talking about?
The room is different cookie cutter from Hollywood.
Yeah, man, you never know. People are very strange these days.
What's going on?
Welcome to The Room Minute,
The podcast where we get obsessed with the cinematic classic The Room.
1 minute at a time.
You have no idea what kind of trouble you're in here, do you?
Why are you so hysterical?
We always wanted people to actually talk about it.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, listeners. We're here to talk about minute 82 of The Room, in which Johnny makes an announcement and Michelle and Steven gang up on Lisa. We are without my co-host Allison for today. We had to reschedule on short notice, and she couldn't make it to the party. Yeah. That's okay, because everyone is exiting to go outside.
Sorry, Alison. It's just me today. Me and Robert. So.
Oh, hi, Eddie.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, good. Everyone exits to go out on the roof, and then we get some establishing shots in San Francisco, as we get way too many of on this last night of the film.
Yeah, I wrote here, as is typical.
Yeah. If anyone cares, this is Happy Donut and the Hotel St. Paul at Kearney and Columbus, but it's such a brief establishing shot that we don't really care. What matters is the shot after, because it's actually a little more cinematic than some shots in the film.
Yeah. I really like the shot.
The camera following Lisa through the party.
Yeah, it actually feels like someone put thought and effort into this one shot, and it's actually quite dramatic. And she's the only thing in focus as well, which is really nice.
What's funny is no one knows whose idea it is.
That's amazing.
Sandy Chaclair, who's written a book about how he actually did all the directing, has not claimed it.
Wow.
Greg Sestero, who in this part of his book is talking about how a stagehand named Byron was kind of taking over control of things, didn't give Byron the credit.
Oh, wow.
So
I've read Greg's book.
Someone had this idea, but it wasn't Tommy. Tommy didn't know what a dolly shot was.
No. No, I as a TV production graduate myself, I just was like, oh, this is a really good shot. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the scene happened, and I was like, yes.
Exactly, yes.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot.
It's a really good opening to a horrible scene. But yeah, Tommy knew enough that he couldn't just start the scene with him standing around doing nothing. And then someone said, well, why don't we have the shot follow Lisa in? And then somehow they had I guess there was a dolly on site because they were filming at Burns and Sawyer. And someone explained what a dolly shot was, and Tommy loved it.
It's a really nice shot. I'm watching it over again now. I just really like it. It's just like, and like at first I was like, oh, is that Lisa? Because in this film, who knows? Like, it could be anybody.
Well, yeah, she's got so many outfits throughout the film.
Yeah.
I can't be sure.
Yeah, it's just really nice and a bit ambiguous because you can't see her face at all. And Tommy might look sad, but it might just be Tommy Wiseau looking like Tommy Wiseau. It's hard to tell.
It's Tommy trying to remember his lines that he's about to say, even though he only has one. Now, I wish Allison were here because the overheard dialogue as we get this dolly shot is kind of nice for this late in the show. Because someone says, what else is there to talk about, really? And then someone says, we've covered a lot of ground, really. Yeah, we have. So
there's a point where Tommy waves and nods at someone.
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen him smile. And I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, first we see Michelle talking to Steven. So they know each other. That's good. And then Tommy walks up to his mark for his line. And he had trouble remembering this one line.
Aha. Yeah.
And he also thought they should have footballs thrown around after. And they're like, no, we're on a rooftop now. We can't throw footballs. So both stagehand Byron and Sandy Chaclair were against the football tossing.
To be fair, I personally don't think there's been enough in this film of footballs being thrown around.
Yeah. So what we get is sad-looking Tommy steps a few steps forward. He looks down to find his mark. Then, as Greg Sestero explains, Byron had to talk Tommy through the whole thing. Okay, start moving. Look up. Nope. You passed it. Go back. Now you're looking into camera. And you passed it again. Start over. And go. Look up. You missed it again. Don't look at me. Just ignore me and start over. Okay, go. Look up. And you passed it. And after many blown takes, Tommy's nod and smile is him signaling to the cameraman that he's ready.
Wow.
So he gets to his mark, is looking down, realizes he's there, and signals to the cameraman that, as Sestero puts it, he's got it. Let's roll film, motherfucker. So the take in which Tommy, as Sestero puts it, annihilates the fourth wall by motioning to the cameraman is the best take they got.
I have read Greg's book, but it was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I wrote in my notes here, is Tommy nodding at someone giving him his cue to do his line? So it's that obvious. Like, I picked up.
Yeah. It's basically that, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Like, he remembered his line, but he wanted to make sure the camera was rolling, basically.
The more you hear about this film, the more not true it sounds. Like, it's amazing.
And then his line, of course, is out of nowhere because we never heard Lisa say she was pregnant.
No.
So Johnny says, "Hey, everybody, I have an announcement to make."
Hey, everybody! I have an announcement to make. We're expecting!
We're expecting!
And
everyone cheers.
That's great! Thank you.
And so Mike and then Mark and then Steven all put like hands on him and say congratulations. And one of the extras, I forget which one because I lost track. There's not that many of them, but I can't be bothered.
No, there's just at this point it's just bodies in a room.
Yeah,
and it's like fine.
And then we get Michelle crosses the frame, and Steven looks. I don't know how to describe it. I put alarmed, worried, and or confused.
He looks like a very, very poor imitation of Will Ferrell in some shots. It's really strange. I kept pausing it to make a note, and I was like, Will Ferrell? Nope, not Will Ferrell.
Nope.
I also forgot these guys' names in the film, and I just called them White Man and White Woman because I had no idea who they were. So.
It's okay. This is only Steven's second scene. And I'm actually trying to remember if anyone actually says his name. Why do we know his name is Steven?
That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, we just know. We know Michelle's because, they said her name. She's been in a few scenes. Yeah, so they go over to Lisa, take her aside, because Lisa's being bad. As usual.
Lisa doesn't blink a lot, I've noticed.
No.
It's quite scary.
Although I actually put this note, I think, next minute, but I think she does a really good job in this scene, though. Given the material she's got, it's like she's going for it.
Yeah.
She knows this is late in the film, and this is all she's got.
Even though she's terrible, and I feel really bad for her, just because of everything that happened in this film.
Yeah.
She does come across as a horrible person. As the character's Lisa.
Yes.
Which is really nice, and that's like the one saving grace is, I don't like Lisa. Don't like anyone in this film, but I definitely don't like Lisa. Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, Michelle,
Lisa, I have to talk to you. You have got to be honest with Johnny.
And then, we get Steven with his wonderful acting.
Oh, Steven.
I agree with that.
Like, he might as well have the script in his hand.
Yes.
It's like his college level bad of acting.
Yeah.
Like, or high school level bad of acting.
And apparently he was, I think I talked about this last week, he was also a weird guy on set. Like, he showed up a few days early on a motorcycle. He was really noisy. He told a weird story about popping a bubble on his skin where spiders crawled out.
Oh.
And he was just odd.
Yeah. Well, now you've said that, I can see that he just looks like an odd man. But
as we'll see in the next couple minutes, he also likes to act by making physical contact with people.
Yeah, which is,
which doesn't work.
It's not great. To put it honestly.
It's a choice and it can be done well, but he doesn't.
No, it has to be done well with also speaking well and doing facials well. And as we've just heard, he can't, at all.
Yeah, he's got...
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yes. And then Lisa says, look, I'm going to tell him.
Okay, I don't want to ruin his birthday.
Which is really thoughtful of her, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, Lisa, maybe you are a good person after all. But she also looks disgusted as she's saying it. Like, don't want to ruin his birthday.
Yeah.
Spoilers, it doesn't end well, his birthday. But
and then we get what, according to Sarah, this is Steven's first scene filmed. He says this was his first line, even though he just said a line, so I don't know.
So that's when is the baby due?
Yeah.
When is the baby due?
Yeah.
Which stagehand Byron, who had kind of taken over directing at this point, is watching on the monitor and said, that's the worst actor I've ever seen. Who picked this guy? And he says this to Greg, who had cast Steven.
Oh, no. It's just everything about it is wrong. But this film is the equivalent of putting your foot in your mouth Like, everything about it is just like, oh God, please stop. I made a mistake. I'm embarrassed, you're embarrassed. There's no awkward way to get out of it.
And it has a tendency to consistently get worse, too.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Like, as the movie goes, there's worse scenes.
Yeah, my friend said he watched it quite a lot, and the more he watched it, the more boring he just found it. I think you have to kind of give it a break, watch it again, and be like, "Oh God, this scene!"
Yeah,
and it's funny all over again.
That's one of I just a few days ago. I've been talking about it on this show, trying to re-edit the movie, and I made my rough cut last week, where I didn't fix any of the transitions. I just kind of cut scenes out, moved some stuff around. I believe this scene does not exist anymore.
The film is 20 minutes long now, but
it's just over an hour.
Okay.
Basically, I cut like half an hour out of it. But I also moved some stuff around. Like, one of the running scenes is now early in the film, so we can see that Mark and Tommy do stuff together.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Oh, I say makes sense. It is The Room.
As we've said on this show, if you want to make Lisa more sympathetic, she does not cheat on Johnny until after she accuses him of hitting her. So we move that.
Yeah.
And put the birthday cleanup scene or setup scenes in, order, because they're wrong.
Hang on. How dare you?
We see her setting up for the birthday, right?
Yeah.
Then we cut to nighttime, and then we see her setting up for the birthday again.
Oh.
They edited in the wrong transition shot, basically, and made it like she's setting up for 2 days for this party, which you can see doesn't take 2 days.
Has it already happened where they've gone outside, go inside, then go outside again?
Yes. She sent them outside, she made out with Mark on the couch, and everyone came back in.
Yeah.
And then that's when she suggested everyone go outside.
It's getting really hot in here. Why don't we go back outside?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, this film. I'm confused.
They weren't going to have this rooftop party scene. It happened on a whim from Tommy. So they had to set this whole thing up.
I mean, it looks great, I guess. Like, it's not bad. It doesn't look bad. I will admit, though, I didn't realise this was on a rooftop.
It's not really.
Oh.
It's in a parking lot.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it just looks like it is a room. It doesn't look like they're supposed to be on a rooftop. But I might have seen that on an earlier scene. I just haven't seen it for this minute.
In terms of the visuals, like the set, it might be one of the better ones because they're filming outside at night.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. This whole film just really makes you forget kind of everything. Because Tommy walks in through a door in the beginning of the minute,
yeah,
and then it's an outside shot, and then it looks like it's inside again, but it's on the rooftop. I think that's what confused me.
Yeah, it's because they didn't plan for this rooftop scene, and so they had to put different walls up.
Oh, Christ.
And so they are blocking a background rather than having a green screen set up.
I've had some difficult shoots before, but when I read the book, I was just like, I'm so glad I finished uni, because this would have killed me. Like, there's no way I could have done this, like anything like this, and be like, just not quit, basically. Oh, it's awful.
Notes from a midnight screening.
One of the best is in this minute.
Ooh.
Because when Johnny is looking sad and is about to hit his mark, some people from the audience will run up in, like, there's an aisle on the right, kind of. Mm-hmm. They'll run up to the bottom corner of the screen and just be like, Johnny, over here. And then he looks down at them, smiles and waves, and everyone cheers.
That's amazing.
And it's great.
I really want to go to a live screening one day.
Oh, they're wonderful, especially if you can make it to one where, like, an actor is there, because you will have a packed house. And the energy is great. I went to one that wasn't that full, and it was like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
But the full one was awesome.
I know they do them in London, and I know sometimes Greg and Tommy do show up with those ones. I keep saying we're going to go to one day, and we just haven't done it. But as soon as the pandemic's over, I think that's it. That's our goal. We have to see it live, because I think Cats should get to this level where people are shouting at the screen how bad it is, because it's terrible.
People dressed as cockroaches show up to the screening. It'd be great. The other notes from Midnight Screening here are when Stephen talks, I think every time he says something, someone's like, who are you?
Yeah, I for some reason I thought it was going to be, Denny or just one of the other guys I've seen and recognized. I think Peter I would recognize.
Well, it's supposed to be Peter.
Oh.
But the actor had to leave. He had another pre-scheduled thing he had to go do. Tommy got really mad at him over it.
Jesus.
And then they just gave Peter's lines to a new character who we don't know. Which is fine, because it's the same way Peter showed up.
Yeah.
He just kind of was in a scene
What's
suddenly.
the woman's name again? Sorry,
Michelle.
Yeah, I feel like Michelle could have said his lines, and I wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
She could have
done it on her own,
said,
yeah.
when is the baby due?
When is the baby due?
And it'd been fine.
Yeah, we don't need Steven to agree with that. But I'm not sure if she could deliver one of his best lines next episode as well.
No. I thought you said she can't deliver her performance just like him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a standout of this minute.
She's too good.
Yeah, for the room.
She can't sell the crazy as well.
Oh, it is bad.
And so when he says, when is the baby due?
When is the baby due?
Someone at the screening where I took my notes was like, oh, shut up, Peter.
Well, like, that line got me every single time. And that's one of the times when, because it's an isolated minute, I was like, oh, the acting is still bad.
Yeah.
I think you kind of get used to it when you're watching it for the whole film. But just hearing, when is the baby due?
When is the baby due?
I was like, oh, God, there we go.
It's even worse, I think, next to Michelle and Lisa, both in the scene, are still are trying to make the most of it.
Yeah.
And then you introduce this new actor who is not making anything.
So bad.
It's like he was cast as a joke, except he wasn't. Greg liked his energy when they needed a new actor on short notice.
Maybe he just got nervous. I think sometimes you get in front of a camera and you just panic. I'm trying to be nice to him now, but that's me stretching.
Maybe. I need to watch he's in the Room Actors Where Are They Now parody thing. They do a joke where Peter falls into a pool and when he climbs out, he's Steven. And I gotta check and see how his acting is there. Maybe it was that. Like, he was just nervous, he was new. Wait, is he in anything else?
No.
You gotta check.
He was in The Sopranos. It's like, wait, what? It's just like something amazing.
He's actually the lead in an HBO series.
Yeah. Idiots, Bryan Cranston. How could you not tell?
That's why they got him for the disaster artist. He was secretly Steven all along.
Oh, dear.
Okay, Greg Ellery, oh my god, he's in other things.
Oh, God.
I must see them. The Room Actors Where Are They Now, obviously.
Hmm.
He's in 3 episodes of that. He's in a short film.
There's a show we have here in England called The Midwife. I really hope he wasn't in that. When is the baby due? It's like, God, come on.
Okay, he played a delivery man. That's probably a small part. Played Chuck in Carbuncle. I don't know what this movie is, but it could be a main part. It's not listed early in the credits on IMDb, so maybe not a big part. And Matt in Hampshire. He's the first one listed.
Oh, I've not heard of
I want
Hampshire.
to see this movie.
Quickly Google Hampshire. It's going to give me the county, though, so I live in England, so it's not going to be helpful. Hampshire movie.
Hampshire doesn't... A day in the life of a haunted restaurant is the description on IMDb.
Busy Bistro. Is that what it's called? Busy Bistro?
It has a 5 on IMDb.
Well, it's average at best. It isn't the worst. Greg Ellery.
The actual restaurant closed shortly after shooting wrapped for the film.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, there's an actor here called Trevin Teakin who plays the role of Kevin. So Trevin played Kevin, which I like. That's nice. Also someone just called Zed, so
nice.
That's good.
I bet he's the first one listed, so I might have to see if I can find a copy of that, just to be an expert.
Busy Bistro.
So then, Eddie, where can the audience hear more from you?
You can hear me on my podcast, Sitcant. I believe Ollie Ryder was a guest on here previously, a few episodes ago.
He was, last week.
Oh, wow. Yes, so on Sitcant, a comedy podcast, we review sitcoms episode by episode, now joined by Emmy Bashforth as well. That's Sitcant Podcast on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram as well. We're available to listen to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, basically all your podcast apps. It's a jolly good fun time for everyone.
So there's nothing wrong when people make fun of the project, in this case, The Room.
The Room Minute is a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find more content at lemmingdrops.com.
Follow The Room Minute on all the obvious social media. If you've got any stupid comments after the show,
you can leave them in your pocket on Facebook. If you like what you hear, throw us a rating and a review on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you for listening, and remember, if a lot of people loved each other, the world would be a better place to live.
Leave us!